Classic conversations. We back in this motherfucker. We back in this motherfucker. Hey man, you have no say so. You just bowed out the race. But yeah, we back. Classic conversations. Fall is here. Hopefully soon. Well, I guess fall is here.
Are you gonna introduce us before you start talking about the season?
We about to we just weather report, nigga.
I'm just ranting right now, and then I'm gonna introduce. You feel me?
Welcome back to Classic Conversation. As always, I'm fresh. It's Maya, and that's funny ass Vic over there today. Look at that, look on his face.
Jessica.
Damn. Dave Chappelle. That's what we're gonna talk about today.
Sticks and Stones, he's a new Netflix special.
Yes.
Sticks and Stones.
And the fact that nigga's a clone.
Okay.
Stop, bro.
You just said it was 50-50.
Alright, so it's 50-50. Right?
Okay, wait, let's start here.
50% a clone.
Did we all watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did you guys think about it? Or what did you want to start? What you think about it?
I thought it was, I mean, it's true to Dave Chappelle. Sometimes he's super funny to me, sometimes he's not. But if we're going to talk about like the political climate and the shit that he said that kind of got him in hot water, I personally, I don't see nothing wrong with it the way that he put it, like how he put it one side and then the other, and how, you know, when politically when people look at one thing they see something wrong, and then over here they turn their back and it's not that big of a deal to them. I don't see nothing wrong with it. So I personally enjoyed it. First of all, it's entertainment. I don't know why people get so upset about a comic talking about shit. Richard Pryor said the F word, and you know,
the
faggot.
F word, oh my
said
God.
faggot hella times. You know what I mean? Even though he was talking about himself and the gay shit he did. But, you know, nobody jumped on him. And he said nigga, faggot, he said everything. And now Dave Chappelle, it just tells you that shit, people have just grown that much more sensitive to where a comic can't say anything. And comedians have used comedy for political commentary for a long ass time.
Yeah. That's really one main reason why SNL's even still around. Like, I remember there was a time, maybe 6-7 years ago, where SNL ratings were so bad, and people were like, just put it on because it's really funny around election time and shit like that. So that's literally, like, for me, the Dave Chappelle shit was funny. I personally am not a fan of his show. Like, I don't think his show is funny. I've seen a couple of his.
Chappelle show?
What, the Chappelle show?
Yeah, it's not funny to me. I've tried. I have tried.
You just lost it. Oh,
I
yes,
watch Rick James and
that
Prince.
wasn't funny to me either.
Prince.
I tried
Well,
something.
you just lost a lot of stripes, dude. You just
See, I'm
right.
kind of like, my comedy isn't really like.
it's racist.
Yeah.
You like Seinfeld again, right?
Yeah, like I'm more of a
you like
dry
that dry,
humor
white
kind of shit.
humor. Okay,
But then I do
great.
fuck with something like Bad Boys 2, one of my favorite movies. Like, I do like some black humor, but
Some
it
black humor.
But Jay
You don't
Chappelle
like
just
Martin.
wasn't it. Martin's not funny to me.
Martin's not funny.
It's cool, but it's not. Oh my god! Like, to me, Jamie Foxx shows shits on
Shit
Martin.
crazy.
But anyway, back to Dave Chappelle. I think at this point, he has 4 Netflix stand-ups. I want to say 3. That was more than that. It's more than it was one. I think out of all of them, I liked the first one and then this one he just did. The first time I watched the Sticks and Stone one, the new one, I was like, oh, this shit wasn't that funny, and I watched it again and I was in there dying. I think, like Fresh said too, though, it's unfortunate that like we have these comedians that like these super sensitive ass standards, and it's like they can't say shit, but it's like, nigga, they're the ones who's supposed to joke about the shit. Like, I think his take on cancel culture was great. I think his take on the alphabets was really funny as well. I think, like, for me with the whole LBGT, all them motherfuckers, I think, like, if y'all niggas want to be equal, y'all gotta get these jokes. Like, white comedians joke about black people joke about whites and Asians and Mexicans. If y'all want equality, y'all gotta get these equal jokes. Like, to me, that's just really what the fuck it is.
These
like,
equal jokes.
you can't be so like, oh, this is transphobic and this is like, nigga, shut up. Like, shut the fuck up, y'all. It's funny. Like, I'm sorry. Like, feeling like you're in a whole nother person's body is, like Dave Chappelle said, if I feel like, nigga, I'm Asian, and you just walk around looking at, like, acting Asian, like, niggas are going to laugh.
There was a
at
guy
you.
that did that shit. He said that he was Filipino, white kid that was like, I feel like I'm Filipino, and so he goes around saying he's a Filipino now. So
That's
there
fucking
is
insane.
trans racism.
That's insane. But I mean, I understand, like, it's more sensitive in the sense where, like, these people are being bullied and killed and blah, 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 blah. I feel all that shit. But at the end of the day, like, y'all gotta
But I mean,
shut the fuck
but
out.
here's the thing, though. Is it really that big of a thing in comparison to other things? Because racial killings and everything.
No,
but people
but
still talk about race.
But we're
Niggas
just in a
still
more
get hung and
we're just in a more sensitive time,
shit.
and I feel like they're pushing.
But sensitive to what? Not to us, because
well,
they're still
come
racial.
on, fresh. We know that. They don't give a fuck about us.
That's when I don't care. If
He said it, not me. Hell
I'm
no.
seriously like, if you gonna be sensitive about shit, be sensitive about everything. Like show up to the rallies for us and be sensitive about things that happen to us. But you can't be sensitive just on certain things. Then you're not sensitive. You just I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Cause like with BT does their annual Black Girls Rock shit. And the trans was like, there was lack of trans representation. Oh, nigga, shut up.
Why do they gotta be?
We don't need y'all everywhere, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. Don't let hear that bullshit.
Why they gotta be everywhere? Like, why do they have to be represented in everything? Like, why does everything have to have something about everything? And on top of that, early on, all of them, the LGBT and the trans, they all jumped on the civil rights and said, oh, this is the new civil rights. We're fighting for our civil rights like blacks did. And it's like, well, okay, if that's the case, I didn't see none of y'all over here, like
with the Black Lives Matter,
the Black Lives, and so it's like, keep in mind there are blacks that are, it's not like it's a. But if y'all gonna liken it to the racial thing, then I should see y'all.
First
over
of all,
here
you can never compare. You can never compare your sexual preference or your gender preference over slavery and civil rights. Like you can't. Emmett Till was beat to shit as a child because he looked and whistled at a white woman, supposedly. You can never compare that. No, she just died.
She just died?
She admitted that was wrong, her death. But you can never compare that to a black person. Like, I hate that shit so much. No, we're not going to do that. But I think, back to Chappelle, I think he did a really, really good job of not being offensive, but also keeping it real and kind of explaining how everyone else's feels.
I mean, keep it real. He knew that he was stepping on a minefield.
But they already hate that nigga. So it's like whatever he says about them, they're gonna be upset about.
He didn't care. I think he invited the criticism and the conflict because he said it. Like, he knew what he was stepping into. He knew he was stepping into a live minefield.
I just hate that we're in such an insensitive time where comedians, these niggas' jobs are literally to tell us jokes and make us laugh. And the fact that they can't do this. This is offensive. Nigga, shut your ass up. This is comedy. We're here to laugh. Like, I hate that shit so much.
Well, this is a day and age where you can't do or say nothing. Not even if it's between two friends. If somebody got it on camera, it don't matter. Because if tomorrow you become somebody of some sort of stature, political, public stature, they're going to go back and find that shit that you said when you were 15.
They're going to pull this video up of us in about 5 years. Yeah, like, we got to cancel these niggas. Get them out of here.
That's true. They be canceling people.
That's what he was talking about too, the cancel culture. Like, But anyway, Vic, did you watch Sticks and Stones?
Well, shit, if we got our own, they can't cancel us. So, but YouTube sure will cut us off. They sure will.
That's why we got groundwork.
There you go.
But I seen it. I watched it with my mom last night, and then that shit was funny as hell to me. Like, I didn't really know what to expect. Like, it started off a little slow in the beginning, and then, like, he really started hitting home runs for sure, like the alphabet. And it was interesting that through everything that he talked about, he never actually named it. Like, when he was talking about Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. He said Jussie Smollett. He's French. What did he even call the nigga? He didn't even say Jussie though. What did he say? Juicy. That nigga said Juicy Smollett. I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga that shit? My mom was like, who is he talking about? I'm like, Jussie Smollett. So even talking about that and breaking that whole thing down was like...
But he would see that's something else too. They're like, black people are not supporting a black gay man. It's like, nah, nigga, we know this is bullshit. Because the moment I heard this, I was like, nah, this don't make sense. And it's like, at first I felt I was like, damn, this is crazy. They put a noose around this nigga neck. I was like, hold on.
That nigga said,
you getting Subway in Chicago? Hold on. In fucking February?
You see when the nigga was imitating the police? He said, you were out at 4 in the morning? He said, sandwiches? Oh. He said, I'm talking about partner.
Subway?
That shit was crazy. I'm like, come on, though. You right. Like, when you heard that shit, I think we talked about that, huh? Like, we was like, no, I said I didn't believe it.
And my mom was like, Maya, why would he lie? I was like, Mom, this don't make sense to me. Like, I just knew as soon as I heard it. Yeah. And a MAGA hat in Chicago?
With a ski mask.
Chicago.
He said he had a MAGA hat on top of a ski mask. Who's fitting the hat on top of a ski mask? First off,
and then my whole thing is
He probably had to open it to the last little snap on it. That's what he had to do. I'm just saying.
And then you sit there and wait till the police come to take the noose off. No black person is gonna sit there with a fucking rope around his neck.
Have a rope around his neck?
He sat like that until the police got there. He went back to his apartment with that shit on his neck.
Wait a minute.
And waited for the police to come because he didn't want to ruin any DNA evidence. Yes, that's
a fucking
capping,
setup.
bro.
If you can't see that shit, that's it. That's a fucking setup.
Nigga, you leaving in Chicago at 2 in the morning in the winter for a Subway sandwich.
Nigga,
You're not even in New York with a fucking sub.
You think bro gonna get a job again?
No.
He gonna get something.
Classic conversations. We'll see y'all later.
All right.